Mirai Sentai Timeranger!
Hey guys, and welcome to the first of my Mirai Sentai Timeranger episode commentary and reviews. This time it's Case File 1, The Time Fugitives. And remember, if you do enjoy what you see, please remember to like and subscribe. It just means a lot on a small channel like this, and it'll make the kitty happy. Let's get into the episode. The episode opens with a pink alien scaring some birds in the year 3000 while enjoying a day out, as we're given a narration how aliens exist and people explore space and even time, before we're introduced to Ranger Corps Captain Ryuya giving a speech to some cadets. Elsewhere at Londar Penitentiary, criminals are freeze compressed into small dolls. Back at Ranger Corps, we see Domon hitting on and being rejected by Yuri as he's mocked by Ayase as Shion intervenes before an argument starts. Back at the prison, Don Donero is being sentenced to 1,000 years, but one of the guards turns out to be the robot Gin in disguise. As they shoot all the guards, the recruits are going through a training, when there's a red alert and Ryuya arrives, forming a small team to follow the criminals to the year 2000 as their chronoship is readied. As Gin activates a device, the top of the prison travels through time, and despite the complaints of other officers, Ryuya takes his recruits to a changing area where they're decontaminated, given time-appropriate knowledge and clothes before appearing in the ship, where a robot bird called Tok introduces itself as the ship is punted through the time hole. But before they can pass through, the prison appears in front of them, and the chrono ship collides with it, pushing the prison through time. As the Rangers wake up in their ship, the controls say it's the year 2000. But as Ayase looks out at the landscape, Ryuya puts a gun to his head as Yuri quickly disarms him and handcuffs him to the ship, revealing herself to be police, anti-mafia investigator. Ryuya quickly breaks the cuffs and knocks Yuri to the floor before revealing herself to be Leela. At the prison, Gin and the Don are met by Leela, who says this remote location is perfect for a hideout and that the self-destruct will finish the Rangers shortly. Back on the ship, the four Rangers are bound, but Sion is able to reactivate Tok just before the ship explodes. Nearby, a jogger sees the smoke from the explosion and investigates, finding the Rangers on the beach. As Yuri regains consciousness, she sees the jogger's face and lashes out, and as the others regain consciousness, they attack him as well. In a break in the fighting, Sion asks for the jogger's autograph before a light flashes from the pen. In the prison, Gin is able to construct a junk droid to use as soldiers, as Donero says to unleash them on the town. The first target is a bank, and after that the junk droids attack everything, ransacking stores and passers-by, and while unfazed by the police arriving, open fire on the officers as chaos continues around them. Back on the beach, Tatsuya is protesting his innocence while tied up, as a siren is heard, and Tok shows them Donero and his junk droids ransacking the town. Landing on the beach, Tok finds the chrono changers, but to activate them for the first time, 5 people are needed. Yuri hands out the devices, including one to Tatsuya, who's reluctant to help, but is quickly convinced by Yuri. And with the command, the 5 transform, before Tok activates the Time Flyer, as the Rangers board it, racing towards the town. Arriving, the Rangers blast at Donero from the Time Flyer, before leaping down, and Yuri announcing they're all under arrest. But Gin calls on the junk droids, who open fire, missing everyone but Time Red. As the Rangers charge in, fighting off the junk droids, each is doing well as Tok arrives telling them to use their weapons, as they summon unique weapons each. Long and short swords for red and pink, a double-bladed staff for blue, and massive guns for green and yellow. Charging back in, the Rangers are a blur, fighting against the junk droids as Time Pink goes for Donero, but is taken by surprise as she's shot by Gin, but is saved from a shot by Leela by the others, before Time Pink uses Vector Ends to attack the criminals, but they retreat, much to Time Pink's annoyance, as the Rangers compliment each other, as Tatsuya asks who they are, but he gets no answer as a flock of birds takes to the air as the episode ends. Okay, so, heck of a great first episode. Kind of strange, kind of different, which I like. No Megazord or Mecha Gatai, whatever you want to call it, in this episode. Obviously, as I've said before, I will use Power Ranger terms because I grew up on them. You know, that is just the Time Ranger Megazord to me. Okay, yes, it's Time Robo Alpha or Time Robo Beta, but yeah, just in my head, it's just Time Ranger Megazord. You know, SPD Megazord, one of the Zords from Die Ranger. It's just Zords. Say what you want about Power Rangers, they came up with some great terms. But we're talking about Sentai. And first off, okay, this is the one that bugs me the most. Don't get me wrong, because it looks bloody cool. It really does look cool. But in what way does a giant robot smacking the backside of a smaller robot with a hammer arm seem like a good way of launching things? I mean, yeah, great for a gimmicky toy design, but practically, you're going to be doing in the rear end of any ship you hit with that thing. I mean, what, a catapult system like a modern day aircraft carrier? That'd be better, you know, you just hooks on and you could literally set up with a toy, pull it back on a spring, press the button, and it goes and fires the toy through the time gate. That could have been done. Careful. But yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Just you do wonder what the repair costs are like. Second thing is Ryuya and Tatsumi are related very distantly. I mean, hell, even if it was 50 years per generation at a push, they would still be like separated by what, 20 generations? For them to look exactly the same after that much dilution of the original DNA. Do you agree? She's blinking slowly. She agrees. Um, little interesting fact: one of the TDF operators in this episode is portrayed by an actress called Takemi, who actually portrayed Tatamu in the next season, Gal Ranger. So it's nice to see that, you know, someone who's overseeing everything in the future is also a priestess that looks after the animals in Gal Ranger. She loves her fuss. Um, leave the microphone alone. As for Power Rangers, Time Force, episodes 1 and 2, Force from the Future, fight footage is used for those. All archived. I mean, obviously they shoot their own stuff for some bits, but they're using the same costumes. They've got mostly the same villains, although they replace Don Donero with like some guy with a waxy looking arm called Rancic and metal over his face, looking like a wannabe Robocop or something. I did try going through the episodes, but as at the moment this is a one-off, I couldn't bring myself to watching all of it. I can watch the really old stuff because of nostalgia. Time Ranger, I quit years before Time Ranger happened, so there is no nostalgia. Obviously, if you guys were to choose this as the ongoing series, because obviously at the moment this is going to be in my 50-year anniversary thing, but yes, I know. If you guys choose this as the series you want me to carry on with, then obviously I'll have to look into the Power Rangers comparisons. But again, you got to let me know in the comments. And don't forget, there are plenty of other episodes that I'm doing over the next few weeks. So just let me know. And I'll see you guys next week.